just curl. I'm back home. Yes, I am. I'm back home. I'm home. It was nice outside. It's going to be plus 15 today here in Calgary. So it's going to get quite warm. But I said I'd be back, and I am. And I have to put on lipstick because that's what I do. And I couldn't put lipstick on when I was outside because I didn't know. Maybe if I put you in a tree and then did it, I could have done that, but I didn't have the lipstick on me either. So, anyways, enough about lipstick, right? So, yes, we have, as I was saying, we're at the end of a season of the Aries season. So, we're going to be entering into the Taurus season. This is really, Taurus season is very it's the in between springtime, right? So we are coming into a time where it's going to, get a little bit warmer. Things are going to be feeling more spring like, and we are going to be able to break the ground because I know in some places and some places they've already broken the ground. Uh, but here in Canada, we just haven't haven't really been able to. So you might be still hitting that permafrost level with the ground. But starting the seedlings, doing things like that, a lot of people start them inside and do all that, all of that little planting things. So, as I was talking, I started bitching on my last one and just about being a small business person. I do, and I think, oh my God, I forgot her name. Anyways, thank you for sending me the information. I use Square. I use a lot of free things for my business. I always have. I've stopped using StreamYard because it started off being really inexpensive and then ended up being expensive, and especially in US dollars. I've stopped a lot of different things that I used to pay quite a bit of money for, including Zoom. I don't use Zoom anymore. I use Google Meet. The reason I use Google Meet, it's just cheaper, right? And I use it quite a bit. And same with WeTransfer. Now it's getting a little bit expensive, but it's one that compresses the videos that I make and send out, and easier to send out because you can't, some videos that I make, you can't just send them out by Google. They're just too large, right? So they have to be compressed. So I use different things. Some things I just will have and always use. Some things, yeah, you can use them for free for so long, and then they're not free anymore. I do keep my domain names, and I do pay for my domain names. You have to pay for your domain names because they can be stolen from you. So a lot of things I do. Some things they allow for free up to a certain point, and then you have to start paying. So you just have to watch some things that, like websites that are free. They're great, they're nice, but they don't have the if you are wanting to do something extra on your website, you can't do that, right? So you're very limited on what you can and cannot do on them. So I mean, there's pros and cons to it, in doing it. Um, Christina, thank you. And sorry, I forgot your name. But this is the thing, is like, I've been doing this for over 30 plus years. I have My biggest thing is when people don't pay. That's my big thing. And especially when they say they're going to pay and then I have to go and ask them. It feels very sheepish. It feels very um it makes you feel kind of like you're the scummy um business person that's trying to get their money, kind of thing. And that's not what I want, and that's not what I want to come across and do. So it's also a where it has been a learning lesson for me. It has been a challenge for me in many different areas. I really try and keep my prices as reasonable as I can, but as I said, it's, in order to do this economically and to continue the business, you have to charge, you have to do these things. And I know it's been the argument oh, if you got a gift, you shouldn't charge, and all of this. I mean, this is the old rhetoric that has been going on for a long time. But I look at it, there's always some kind of exchange. Even when you go to a church, there's an exchange. You got somebody who's up there who's saying mass or doing preaching or working within the community. They got to get paid. They got to have a place to live. They got to have a vehicle to get around with, right? So there's, these things have to, in order for them to do the work that they're doing, you know and it's not to go out and say gouge people and make sure that you're getting every red cent that you can from the person. That's not the thing. But it is where, um I think also it comes down to respect and having that respect for what the person is doing. And I know sometimes where I've signed up for things and then I couldn't pay, but I contacted the person and we made payment arrangements, right? And that's the thing, is like you contact them and you be honest. Same way if you're having issues with your utility bill or whatever, you contact them. If you go around and you hide, then that's not a good thing either, right? So I believe in like upfront, honest. I'm a Scorpio, and it with cancer just gives me the anxiety and everything with inside of me, of because I you can feel what the other person's feeling, right? You just know that they're feeling anxious, you know that they're feeling, dodgy or what have you. Most of the time you can sense that. But this is where I feel like this is, especially with the energy, because it's this ready to shift, but you got to allow for the patience. But there's this energy of get up and go. I want to get up and I want to create. That's why I was doing monthly theme outlines. That's what I've been working on, and getting these themes and getting these outlines together. And it's not exactly where you just type it in and it all pops up. I know you can use chat and stuff, but there's a lot of downloads and creativity and stuff like that that goes into it that I do and that I love to do. Like for this May one for journaling, I want to get into creative writing, and I want to get into using not only the computer but your notebooks and stuff like that, and journaling and sketching. Get into that creative part of not just like journaling and writing things down, decorating your page, and using the pretty tapes and stuff like that, and pens and everything else. So I want to get into a creative writing for people to make it fun, right? And not just bring in the prompts. So I want to make this a fun journey, right? It's self-directed for the May journaling journey, um, because I want to make it enticing. I want people to really get into. I know people are going to tell me, well, it's May, it's planting seasons, it's this, it's that. But that is not an excuse to put your spiritual life on hold. Like that's the whole thing. It's like that's the issue that a lot of people have done. They've put their spiritual life on hold because, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. And they cram all this other stuff into it, and then they put their spiritual life to the side. What I really want to encourage people to do is bring 5 minutes a day. Take 5 minutes, take the book, take the creative, take your phone and start taking pictures. Like, if that's all part of the creative journey for journaling, right? Starting to do these different things, and then bring them so that you can look at them, and funny things that happen or what have you. Maybe you don't have the words, maybe you're not good with words. Well, then videotape something, put it up on notes. There's that's what the month of May is going to be about, is bringing that creative note in and making it fun. And then in June we have another theme that I'm wanting to do. And June is really um bringing in a weekly flow, right? So magical intentions, making a vision board for the summer, whether that's digital or if you want to, bring some pictures in or print some pictures off, bring in, little mini challenges when it comes to the moon phases. That's the weekly flow, the for June. So for June, I want to bring in some really fun things and get into some creative things and some sacred stories and bring in sacred story. So I'm going to be doing videos and stuff like that on and sending them out, and all of this is, yeah, it's time, it's things like that, but it's something that I really want to bring forth. And as I said before, this is about bringing in something new and allowing for something new to come in and shine. Um, in July, the sacred heart of summer, right? Because you're in the heart of summer. You're going from Cancer to Leo. This is where you want to come into emotional tune up, inner joy, sacred bathing rituals, um, pressing flowers. When was the last time you pressed flowers, right? And putting them up on your altar and stuff. So these are the types of things that I really want to bring forth and get people to start doing again. And then August is about harvest and honor. And so this could be bringing in, um honoring the cycles of your effort and rewards, connecting to the earth wisdom, even bringing in, how to, maybe it's canning, maybe it's something like that, right? So these are the kind of things that my themes are wanting to do over the next several months. So I really want to bring in a lot more fun, a lot more joy into people's lives, and make it a part of your routine where it doesn't feel like you're like, oh, I got to sacrifice and meditate. Because sometimes people are like, I just don't want to meditate. I don't want to pray. Like doing different acts and things, like, pressing flowers just keeps coming in, is a ritual, is a prayer, is a connection with nature, and bringing those connections with nature. Have you ever opened up an old book that and then you open up and there's a pressed flower there? I get so excited because I used to put a lot of pressed flowers in my books, and I'm like, oh, I remember when I did that. And doing things like that, this is a reconnection and connecting to ourselves and connecting to nature and connecting to spirit. And the more we do these, the more magical it is. I mean, we all love those, cottage type of videos that we see these women wearing these beautiful dresses in the springtime and having strawberries and cream and like these beautiful images that we get. Or there's this one girl who does a TikTok, and I think she's in Ireland though, but I mean, it's very whimsical where she lives. It looks very whimsical. Anyways, she films it very well, from, pouring her tea and collecting her herbs. And we can create that for ourselves no matter where we are, right? And that's partly what I want to do over my monthly themes, and wanting to create that yummy, juicy scrumptiousness for people so that they can really interact not only with for themselves but with nature and within the community, and have those interactions. This summer for me, I really want to make it fun. I want to make it interactive. I really want to be able to get out more, because I could be a hermit very easily and hermit away in my little basement suite. But I want to bring in more fun, more joy, and go to the river, go to, sometimes downtown has different festivals and things like that going on. And and this is what I challenge people to do, is find out what's going on in your town, what's going down around in your area. And that's part of the encouragement, right? To not just hide away, right? We can bring in excuses for a lot of things, but this is like, hey, if I can reconnect and find out what's going on in my community, when I could go to a farmer's market, or if I could just go and find out that there's some kind of festival and just go and enjoy, that's adding into an experience, adding into some really beautiful core memories for you, and bringing in joy. And so we want to be able to do that. We want to be able to set that into motion. And as things are shifting, like sometimes this is right now, we feel like this is kind of like a sluggish energy, and we're waiting for things to shift and explode. And we're at the tail end, before, the tail end of Saturn in Pisces, but we're not there yet. More to be revealed and more to accept in this world of the changes that are happening. And doing the things or the themes that I'm thinking of is really going to help people to um, work with a lot of the changes that are happening, right? And finding those joyous moments, finding those happy moments in a world that is going crazy, right? In a world where there's just so much being thrown at us, and we're inundated on, right? Mom lives in Bridgeland, and they have music and free events around there all the time. Yeah, all the time. Bridgeland, yeah. They have a market under the bridge in Bridgeland, right? And Bridgeland is like, and also, I mean, maybe we'll go on a little, maybe I'll go on a walkabout bout and go on a little ghost tour of different areas. Bridgeland's really haunted. It's one of the older areas. And then across the river there is Inglewood. So these were two areas where people did a lot of settlements, because the river divided Calgary before the bridges were built. So going on these little walks and excursions and places, and even walking into old antique shops, and just taking a look about. It's not spending money. It's not about you going out and having to spend whatever. But this is where sometimes you need that encouragement. Sometimes you need that little oomph for you to get yourself motivated into a direction of, yeah, I need to get myself out of this rut. I need to start expressing myself more. I need to sort of embrace that beautiful energy and inner wisdom that is within me. And as we move and change, this is going to allow us to be able to do the planning, be able to set in motion the things that we need to set in motion for the coming months that are sometimes going to feel a little bit unsteady, a little bit unsure, but that's going to be okay. Right? So, because we're preparing these things, we're putting in, for our spiritual bank, we're allowing for that divine wisdom and that divine energy to come in and guide us, in so many ways. I'm also gonna be doing a little bit more of full moon and new moon rituals, and having those, um, like I did, with this last full moon. I was just felt very, um I just felt very compelled to do it. So I did it. And those little things, to have them and say, do it by donation, whatever the donation is, allowing for people to come in and come forth. I like when you took our ghost walk to the old train station down and said, oh, I know, Christina, that is a prime area. There's sometimes I'll drive and I'll go and I'll just go there and just sort of and especially because it's by the convent there too. And there's always, whenever you go by any sacred sites like cathedrals and convents and things like that, there's a lot of crazy energy. 17th Avenue too, in the Beltline. I mean, people don't realize there's a lot of underground tunnels. They're closed now, that are there. The bank that's on 8th Avenue. Um, it has the original vault downstairs when you go downstairs to go to the washroom, and on either side of the vault is like two tunnels, and men used to be measured on how wide they were to go walking through the tunnel, because they would take the money from there to go to the train station, because that's how money got to the banks and stuff like that, or got to the main bank. um, and the centralized banks was, um, by the train. That's why they used to rob trains. That's why they used to have great train robberies, right? So that's very, very cool. And then just going by the palace there, you can go in the palace there if you and walk around. It's beautiful. The architecture in there is just absolutely stunning. I went there for high tea. I had a client take me for high tea. how spoiled I was. But and then there was a little girl's birthday party. They do birthday parties, and they had all had high tea, and they all got little teddy bears, and it was just very cool. Mommy and Daddy had a little bit of money, but to do that, but just or even taking some time to go to a high tea. That's always fun. Spoiling yourself, these are the types of things that are, I think, necessary, especially because we could get so inundated on the craziness of this world. We can get so inundated on, oh, well, I can't do this and I can't do that because of this and because of that. Sometimes we have to sort of step out of that frequency, out of that energy, and say, you know what? I need to embrace more in life. And that doesn't mean embracing more of life means that I have to go fork out $1,000 or what have you. It means that I have to embrace and do things, right? There's a seed exchange coming up here in Calgary. I don't know if maybe it happened already, but I mean, different areas have seed exchanges, right? Heritage seed exchanges. Sometimes you could go to there's different gardening areas, or if you have a gardening um, group in your area, you could go there because they have different, sometimes they have seminars, they have different people that come in and speak. If that's your jazz, right? And go and check it out, right? This is what we want to do. We want to encourage fun. We want to encourage these things, and that's partially what I want to be doing with my monthly themes, and bring them forth. So it's bringing in a lot more fun, bringing in things that maybe we don't normally do uh, during this time. Calgary gets a lot of festivals and has a lot of festivals that are happening, but like we have the Lilac Festival, which is huge. Um, and we have the Caribbean Festival. We have a Spanish festival. We have a Filipino special. We have all different kinds of different festivals that happen here in Calgary, and they're free to go to. You don't have to spend any money. Although some of them with the food, you might want to because the food's really good. But to bring a little bit of pocket money with you, and try something new that you haven't tried before. That is what I'm wanting to encourage people to start doing. And so if you feel compelled and you want to join me for my monthly themes, definitely, it's there. This is one of the projects that I am doing at this time, and just to see where it leads and how this leads to me, leads for me, not to me, but for me. Yeah, there we go. But the joy, fun time. Glad I went for a walk this morning. So busy. I'm finding the park there. The one thing is that a lot of people bike through there because they go and they work at the hospital and stuff. Some people, when they bike through there, they might be working downtown and stuff. So sometimes the bikers there through Edworthy Park, they're a little bit dicks. Because some of them just like think that it's a path lane that is designated for both walkers and cyclists. So sometimes people can be a little aggressive. Um, oh, fun. Cool. That's nice. Is that where you live, Christina? You live in Costa Rica? That's so cool if you do. Wonderful. Wonderful. I don't know what Semana Santa is. I have no idea. I've never even heard of it. So, there. Learning something new. Learning something new. Yeah, oh, it's like Easter. Oh, okay, cool. Pele, Kepacha lives there in Costa Rica. I think he lives like in a community setting. And that's what a few people said. It's really good to be living in some sort of community kind of setting, for there. So I think that's cool. I know my sister has property there. I have no idea where. So, but so let's pull some cards. Let's see where this day's going. We got the Emperor. Ooh, I love the Emperor. The Emperor. Yeah. This is going forthright, doing your thing. The Emperor doesn't ask permission, he does it. He goes out and he's going to do his thing. He is ruled by Aries. He has that Aries energy, so he has that spark, that get up, get going kind of energy, and off he goes. So in comes that beautiful energy of the Emperor, and with it, it means you got to let go of some things. You can't hold on tight to everything. Sometimes, yeah, we have, these energies coming in, and sometimes I want to harbor them and I want to keep them all to myself and I don't want to let them go. But here comes the Emperor. He says, yeah, you know what? We got to get going. We got things to do. But sometimes we don't want to do that. We don't want to harbor things. And then with that all, knowing that you have the strength. So two major arcana cards that are coming in. The Emperor has the strength to move forward, but sometimes we have a lot of fear within this world that we don't want to move forward. We don't want to go, right? It's like we want to feel safe. This is where I'm at. I have, I have my foundation. I have what I got, and I don't want to move out of this space because of fear of, if I move out of the space, I might lose what I got. I might not be able to retain what it is that I want to do, right? So things will change. And a lot of people get, there's a fear there that you don't want things to change. Yet the Emperor comes in because he's self-made, because he has this power. He wants to create something in a strong foundation, and the strength is there, is stepping forward with it, right? And when you ask for strength, that's the whole thing. When you ask for strength, it'll come to you, but it'll come to you in a challenge to give you the strength that you need to get through things. Cool. Of the 7 countries I have lived in, I love it the best. Oh, that's really cool. I've only lived in Canada. That's wonderful that you've had that opportunity to be able to do those things, and being able to go into these to those different countries. I would love to go to France. I really would. France, England, Ireland. But I wouldn't go to Europe at this time, you know, um, because of the turmoil and things that are going on. Love to go visit Italy. Greece is a little bit too hot, and I would maybe in the springtime, to go there in the springtime when it's not as hot. Um, Spain would be nice, but I'm not really compelled to go to Spain. I've never been compelled to go to any of the Caribbean or South America countries. So Hawaii, definitely. Oh, I would love to go to Hawaii. Just the energies that I can feel from Hawaii. I've never been there, but I can feel it. Have been to California. I do like California. I really do. I know it's wacky, wacky Cali wacky, with everything there, but that energy there is really fabulous, right? So, Trafalgar Tours is an excellent way to see all of those European countries, and affordable. Yeah, I don't think it's in my lifetime, honestly, for me to be able to travel. Just saying. It's just one of those things. I would, but I you're enthused. You gotta go. But in my lifetime, I just know it is just not one of those things in my lifetime to do. The only way it would happen if I won a lot of money in order to do to be able to do those things. But it's just, you know, not happening as of yet, it's always on my to-do list to go to France. Everybody knows I want a chateau, and to be able to be in France. Just love that style, Chateau Diaries. Oh my god, I think that would be the epitome. Oh, I've written it down many times. It's down there. It's down there. But I don't know, because if you've ever followed my life, I've always not, and if you look at my chart has a lot of a lot of interesting aspects in my chart that has helping me to guide me. That's basically it's going to show me and guide me. But some people have it in their chart to travel, right? Some people don't. I have lived a life where I have lost everything overnight, everything, bank accounts, everything. I've lost everything, and I've had to scrape and to come back to where I am. And I've always been where everything Cynthia could tell you, where people will show you that I have like where things have gone extremely well, and then out of the blue, it's all taken away from me in an instant. In an instant. That's my life. And I've learned to accept it. So I enjoy when things are good, and understanding when things are chaotic and crazy, which sometimes it seems like that's a lot of the time, but I always that's where my faith comes in, right? And this is where when people say, "Oh, you could travel here," but I also have a responsibility with my family and with my children and with my grandson, and that's the other piece as well. So it's one of those things that, yeah, I love to see when other people can do it and they're able to do it, and to go out and prosper. And but that's also part of my acceptance of where I am and the road that I am on. And that's what I find, which is beautiful. Other people get so they get enthusiastic. I love it because people get so enthusiastic for me and like, oh, do this. And then they send me all those emails where they say, oh, you can do this. And I'm just like, yeah, I know, but you also got to understand it. I am not a manifestor generator, nor a generator, nor a manifester. I'm a projector. I have to allow myself to just move through things, um, be invited for things. Definitely, when I'm invited, I go. If they work out, it's awesome. If they don't, that's awesome as well. Yeah, it's an interesting life, that's for sure. But it's accepting, and that's where I that's why online stuff is, when to do things online has been a godsend for me. And being able to connect with so many people all over the world because I'm able to do things online, and I love it, and I love it. um you know uh I have my elder brothers and sisters. They're the baby boomers. They're the ones who are able to do a lot of things that I was unable to do. And they've gotten opportunities that I never was able to partake in, I guess you can say. Yeah. So, oh, say la vie. It's all good. So anyways, have a fabulous day, everybody. But I heard you say you would love to go to France. Oh, yeah. I hope you just keep those words and lose the rest because you are young. I'm 61. I'm not that young and could definitely be offered an opportunity in Europe. I'm not that young. I am but no, I've been saying I want to go to France and Ireland for a long time. But yeah, maybe in the next lifetime. We'll see. Have a blessed one, everybody, and we will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye bye.